Hey everyone, I'm in Madison, Wisconsin for the first time. The Capitol building is to my left, and the University of Wisconsin is to my right. And I want to show you how to spend a day in Madison, Wisconsin. Gray's is a modern American restaurant right across the street from the Capitol building in downtown Madison. The menu's Korean influenced. Chef Tori Miller is only the second James Beard Award winning chef in the city of Madison. I'm starting off with the cinnamon bun. I like how this is sort of upside down, so the cream cheese is at the bottom. It's nice and warm, and it's made by pastry chef Christine. Now I'm ordering off the brunch menu, and if you want a healthier option, they do have a Greek yogurt parfait. I love the way this is laid out, so you can't really even see the yogurt, but you got raspberries in the middle, crushed pistachio around that, and then there's granola on the outside. Now, I've been told that Madison is a great city for sober travelers like myself. So I'm trying Unhinged, which was one of the non-alcoholic drinks on the menu. So the red comes from hibiscus. There's also black pepper and cardamom in there. And I definitely noticed the ginger beer the most in this one. The most Wisconsin thing you could do is get some cheese curds, which I have not had in 5 months. Last time I had them was a little bit north of here in Oshkosh. These come from a local producer called Hooks. It's cheddar, so it's a little bit on the sharper side. It's a little bit salty as well. The Wisconsin Capitol building has an observation deck at 90 feet. Behind me you can see Lake Mendota, and you also have a 360 panoramic view from this observation deck. That's Lake Monona. So Madison is built on an isthmus, which means it's located between two bodies of water. And this is the other lake, which is Lake Mendota. This is the Senate chambers. Now we are behind plastic here, but you can see from here all the way from the floor to the very top. And Lady Wisconsin should be on the other side of that painting. This is the House of Representatives. Hey everyone, I am at Sardine, which is a French bistro along Lake Monona. So this place gets really crowded on Sunday. I'm here for brunch. I'm starting off with the miel, which is the French word for honey. It's a latte that gets a little sweetness from the honey. It's kind of early for me, so I'm having something light. This is salmon. That's chopped spinach. These are thin potatoes, and it's in a citrus vinaigrette. It's dill salmon. I love how the thin potatoes add a little crispiness to it. And again, it's in a lemon vinaigrette. Anything citrus I really like, so I do recommend this dish. There's an oyster bar right behind me, and I'm gonna try some different ones today. We got Massachusetts, Virginia, and then 2 from British Columbia. The Massachusetts ones are smaller, and these are from Virginia. And we have 2 different ones from British Columbia. Of the 4 oysters I tried, The clear winner was the smaller one from British Columbia, which is the Coochie. Um, that was the saltier one. I really enjoyed it. And if you have a chance to try that, that's the name Coochie. I highly recommend it. The city of Madison has 240 miles of bike paths. The e-bike system here was the first electronic bike system in the United States, and the bike system here is still one of 5 platinum rated ones in the United States. So I got myself a pass. The docks here are numbered, and I'm going to unlock a bike and go for a ride.
Good. So let's go see what else.
It was an easy 15-minute ride along the lake from downtown to Old Brook Botanical Gardens. And as you can see behind me, there's a docking station conveniently located. So let's go check out the gardens. It takes about an hour to see all 16 acres of the property. And like a lot of museums and attractions in Madison, admission is always free. I'm at Grandpa's Pizzeria. So this is a cute little place. You feel like you're in someone's house. The pies are 12 inches. I'm ordering the jabroni. So the sauce is not red because it's a tomato pesto mix. Instead of fresh mozzarella, it's smoked mozzarella. And you can see it's topped with a pretty generous portion of basil. It's cut like an Emo's pie, but fortunately, it's not Provel cheese. The basil makes it look thicker than it is. If you take a closer look, it is very thin. There are chili flakes on it, so that adds some spice to it. And I want to say the 2 things that stand out the most, the heat from the chili flakes and also the smokiness of the mozzarella. And what made me choose this place, by the way, is as I walk down the street, there are other restaurants and bars on this street, but I chose Grandpa's because you could really smell the pizza, the sauce, the dough cooking. You could smell it from the sidewalk as you approach this place. And speaking of the neighborhood, the entire pizza section of the menu is available next door at Gibbs, which is a 2-story bar in an old house that's definitely worth checking out if you're in the area. Midwest Vintage Flea happens twice a year in Madison. It's mostly closed, but you can also find vintage baseball hats, magazines, and records. Here's a Circus magazine from 1978 talking about Van Halen opening up for Black Sabbath on the Never Say Die tour. This is one of the few Slayer shirts I've never owned. That's Sigmund Freud. And a Dahmer's Exotic Meat shirt, which seems to predate the Netflix series. Now, I would buy this shirt if it wasn't a couple sizes too small. This looked like it came from Mick Jagger himself. Here next to the vinyl collection, you have some vintage baseball hats. So when I was preteen, these were the Chicago White Sox hats. Got a baseball card. I believe this guy used to have the nickname Pags. I believe he was also a Yankee. And I'm old enough to remember when Ryne Sandberg was the star of the Chicago Cubs. State Street runs from the Capitol building down to the University of Wisconsin, where I'm standing right now. And here you have about a dozen food trucks from here to the steps leading up to the campus. And if you've watched my channel before, you'll know that my first choice is often Peruvian food. Now the arroz in the arroz con pollo is green from cilantro. So this is a really interesting addition, the cilantro to the rice. The chicken is thigh meat. It's nice and tender. Like I've always said, chicken could be kind of bland, but Indian and Peruvian restaurants, they really get it right. The Chazen Art Museum has the largest collection of any Big Ten university. Now, if you grew up a heavy metal fan like me, you'll want to head straight to the 3rd floor and check out Gallery 8. As a lifelong heavy metal fan, I appreciate anything that looks like it could fit onto a Slayer album cover, and this skull also fits that description, as does this Jim Dine painting. Look at this and then tell me if you don't think this could be perfect for a Slayer album cover. If you listen to the Velvet Underground and collect vinyl, Gallery 7 will be more your speed. This Tom Wesselman drawing looks like it's just painted onto the wall, but it's actually stainless steel. These figures look so real that I expect one of them to say boo to me any second now. Now, we've been talking about album covers. They look like they would come from a Tool video. And I think I just found the best seat in the house. I'm at Paul's Palmeni for some bite-sized Russian dumplings. If you're familiar with these are kind of the opposite of the Georgian ones, where the Georgian ones are the biggest you've ever seen. So these are tiny. I'm getting the very basic version. I've got them topped with cilantro, and then I'm just gonna have a little bit of sour cream with them. You have 2 different options here, beef, potato, or a third would be a mix. It's brilliant how they have this business here because it's downtown, it's close to the university. As far as the dumplings go, the skin's pretty thick. They hold together really well. They're bite-sized. They're the smallest dumplings that I know of. Madison has 4 arcades, and 2 of them have bars. So I'm at one of those, which is Aftershock Classic Arcade in the Near East section. Aftershock is more family-friendly during the day. It becomes more of part of the bar scene after around 7 in the evening. Aftershock is deceptively big. So there are a lot of little lanes. It's kind of like a labyrinth of machines. And you got several of those lanes. You got Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers. There are several games here that I played growing up. One is behind me, Street Fighter 2. But the biggest surprise for me is right behind me here, WWF Superstars. So as a teenager in the early 90s, I spent probably what seemed like a small fortune trying to beat Andre the Giant and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I'm gonna see if 30 some years later, I've gotten any better at this. So here, live from New York, the Honky Tonk Man, and here we go. Uh-oh, I'm not off to a good start. Drop kick. Okay, I just got him, I got him. That's the finishing move. Shake, rattle, and roll. Neck breaker, elbow drop, another one. And I think we just both collided. And anyone who was a teenager in the 90s like I was, probably spent hours a day playing either Mortal Kombat and or this one right here, Mortal Kombat 2. Now I'm gonna try my luck at Mortal Kombat, and I'm gonna pick Scorpion because he's the one who shoots the harpoon and yells, "Get over here." Lola's is a 60s style cocktail lounge on the north side of Madison. So a couple things stand out about this place. There's a lot of vinyl. The whole wall is lined with vinyl. I'm in the Marilyn room, probably named after Marilyn Monroe. And I'm told that the dumplings are the most popular thing on the menu. So I'm trying the mushroom wontons. That is a black garlic broth. These dumplings look like they're baked. They're very tiny, like pelmeni, which are also on the menu here. The black garlic broth has a kind of strong finish to it. I like how the wontons are still a little bit crispy, even though they've been soaking in the broth. I'm trying the budino. So it's chocolate, salted caramel, and those are little lavender seeds on top. The lavender's kind of subtle. The chocolate, it's like a chocolate pudding topped with whipped cream. Then you got a little bit of salted caramel in there as well. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I got more trips coming up soon. I'm going to be heading down to Eureka Springs, Arkansas next weekend. Then I got South Carolina in May, heading out to Phoenix, Arizona for Memorial Day weekend. Then in June, I'm going down to Tupelo, Mississippi, and out to Wyoming, which is a state that I've never spent a night in before. I hope you get to visit Madison soon, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you.